I'm old enough to remember when you actually had to go to a cinema to watch a movie. Even if you wanted to steal a movie, you still had to leave the house. Hi, welcome to the Silver Spleen. My name is Kyle Van Helton, and this is my review of Keyboard Warriors. In the 21st century, being popular in one medium means that you get to be popular on another. This movie's directed by Sit-Ho Ching, who's never directed a movie before. But he did write a popular internet story about the Hong Kong Golden Forum, a very popular message board used by locals. As many of you know, I'm not generally a fan of movies made from internet stories. I didn't really care for Due West Our Sex Journey or The Midnight After, but I did enjoy Golden Brother and Sinking City, so there you go. To be fair, let me say right now that I enjoyed Keyboard Warriors, and I wasn't setting up to start criticizing the director or the movie. Because luckily for me, and for you, Keyboard Warriors is a very funny, very watchable, and very local film that, like Sinking City, forces me to reevaluate my inherent bias against movies made from internet stories. Based, albeit very loosely, around real events, Keyboard Warriors tells the story of a gang of young people with more brains than experience who make use of their underemployment to try to solve a mystery. Yeah, that's vague, but only because I want you to go and see this movie yourself. Relative newcomers Neo Yao and Lam Yu Sing play a pair of friends who spend most of their time online and have the social underdevelopment to prove it. One day, having ventured outdoors, they see a mishap involving a security truck, an unsecured door, and a load of cash. This incident sets in motion a series of events that will have profound effects on the characters in expected and unexpected ways. From the beginning of the movie, I was really impressed by the performances of Lam Yu Sing and Neo Yao. They managed to make their characters both very human and engaging, while at the same time leaving the rough edges of these social misfits intact. Grace Chan, who apparently won the Miss Hong Kong pageant 5 years ago, turns in a very watchable performance as Steffi Tang's sister, a woman who has her own flaws, as well as very strong opinions about how those flaws do and don't define her personality. Steffi Tang's performance is adequate, but if I'm honest, I can't help but feel that she's really working the whole blank expression as dramatic gravitas thing to death. One reason she's good at playing these so-called mysterious roles is because there's not a heck of a lot going on in that perpetually static facial expression. But she's still competent, watchable, and at times very entertaining. I can't really say the same of Lorraine Tang. Remember I talked about how this movie is a lot of art reflecting life? There's a line in this movie about how online stars become movie stars and internet stories become movies. I enjoyed that self-awareness and self-inflicted humor. Because in real life, Lorraine Tang was apparently a waitress who came to fame after a lot of people with penises surreptitiously took her picture and put it online. That totally makes her qualified to be in movies, right? Or maybe it's her pulmonary attributes. It's certainly not the self-evident reality that she often can't act her way out of a wet paper bag. That's not a euphemism. Not that it matters. I'm sure that she has a very long career line ahead of her, unless she's the victim of some kind of freak industrial accident resulting in the loss of her chest. She was actually very watchable in Agent Mr. Chan, but here the only time she's believable is when her character is supposed to be fooling somebody by acting and can't really act, and so when she's pretending that she can't act, she's actually really convincing. In that one scene, at least, she displayed a high degree of verisimilitude, which is something not guaranteed to Hong Kong under the Basic Law. Now, don't worry, I'm not about to get all political. At least not any more political than Keyboard Warriors. As I said, this is a profoundly local film, making more references and in-jokes than you can shake a palace museum at. One of those references made me laugh out loud in the cinema because I understood the context of the joke as well as the term used. Another thing I want to mention about this interesting film is the cinematography. There's a segment in the film that uses a visual effect. You can see a piece of it in the trailer, and I just really enjoyed it. Partially I liked it because a small, relatively inexpensive film like this, thanks to technology, can do things like that that are quite visually interesting. And as I already said, during that segment there's another reference to a famous local incident involving a couple having some relationship issues. I also want to mention, as a point of gratitude, that the subtitles featured some very helpful explainers and context. I'm grateful, and I'm sure that the rest of the non-native audience is too, because it not only makes things funnier, but allows viewers like us the chance to better or more easily understand the movie. So, thank you. Thanks also for giving Chan Kuntai a small role, because it's just always great to see him on a big screen. Thanks also for what I sincerely hope is the best, most unexpected, and weirdest homage to Last Tango in Paris ever. I like this movie an awful lot more than I expected to, because, to be honest, I didn't expect to like it that much. It's certainly not perfect, and it's not great filmmaking, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun and entertaining, and on that level it definitely succeeds. It's very local, but you can still get a lot out of it, and I can think of a lot worse ways to spend 90 minutes. In fact, this week I'm probably going to have to do it when a movie that's been sitting on a shelf for 5 years finally opens. But that's not our story, is it, kids? So if you get a chance, go see this movie in the cinema. If you don't, wait till you can rent or buy a copy. Don't steal this movie. And as long as we're talking about money, please click on my Patreon page. Just send me $1. It wouldn't kill you, would it? I don't even care if it does. $1. $1! Please? Bueller? If you enjoyed my review, please let me know, and if you didn't, let me know. If you enjoyed the channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon.